You know how they say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, right? Hell hath no fury like a studio pissed. I got an interesting hot tip last night from a person I know in Access Media, my source down there in Los Angeles, who hit me up to talk to me about how Warner Brothers is saying F you to the press, not publicly or even really privately, but that's the interpretation going around. Now, the Joker, which comes out a week from today, I already have my ticket purchased. Very first showing at my theater. I was the very first person to buy a ticket. I'm excited as hell to see this movie. But Warner's is not doing early press screenings. They are now more focused on trying to get the movie in front of as many people as humanly possible. And it makes the most sense in the world. Now, there's been no direct comment from Warner Brothers itself. This is more of a feeling that's going around with the movie reviewers in LA right now and other places who are not being shown the movie early. In many cases, when a studio chooses to not screen it early for critics or put an embargo on the film, what that generally means is that the movie is bad. This is actually not that case. What we're seeing here is a situation where the Access Media has come out and outright attacked a movie that 99.99% of the population hasn't seen yet. They haven't seen it. And they're calling it a movie that's going to appeal to incels, and the movie is dangerous and all of these things. The family of the Aurora, Colorado shooting has come out and issued a letter to Warner Brothers asking them to help kind of get in on the gun control debate, and they've asked it to not be shown in that theater, and it's not going to be shown in that theater. And they said that they don't want the movie censored. They don't want art shut down, but they're using the tragedy as a way to try to maybe help the country. And Warner's basically kind of capitulated to that. And the thing is that that was all amplified and propped up by the Access Media, who for some reason absolutely fundamentally want to see this movie destroyed. They do. They want to see this movie destroyed. We've been talking about it now for over a month. The Army has now issued a statement saying that to be on the lookout for potential incel shooters. As a warning, the Army is now saying that. We've got people that are worried about whether or not there's going to be an attack on the world premiere of the movie this Saturday in Los Angeles. The LAPD has come out and said nothing there to worry about. No credible threats coming on in. And the thing is, there's not going to be any credible threats because no one is looking at this movie like that. The only people that are looking at this movie like it's going to be the next plot of a domestic terrorism film are the kind of people that can directly profit off of trying to be that kind of doomsdayer. And as a result of that, Warner's, from my understanding, what I'm hearing is they've had enough. They've had enough. They are tired of being attacked. They are tired of having to defend this movie. They are tired of all the things the media is saying by people who haven't seen the movie or stuff that's almost being pushed out there en masse by those who have seen it, knowing that they're not going to actually have a conversation about this film because no one else has seen it yet. So they're hiding behind that. Yeah, Peter Scaretta from Slash Film, I am absolutely talking about you, you coward. If you're going to make those claims, back it up. You've already seen the movie, so what do you care at this point? Warner Brothers set out to tell a story about a bad guy who does bad things as more of in my opinion, as a warning to people, not as a glorification of the action, but as a warning, is that this is potentially what could happen if a person who feels rejected by society enough to go down this path. It's not a rallying cry for those who already feel like they're going down that path. What this movie could actually end up doing, you morons in the media that are trying to call it dangerous without even having seen it, for one, or two, playing up what is clearly a crap narrative, is it could actually have the potential to save lives. And let me explain. In the wake of the shootings in Texas, in the wake of many shootings we see around this country, people become hyper vigilant of those around them, specifically people in their own lives who might possess or exhibit that kind of characteristic. And we've seen many cases, but for some reason, it never gets the mass appeal, the mass push that it should. It never gets the major talking points in the media where someone, a mother, a father, an aunt, an uncle, a grandmother, a sister, a cousin, a brother, comes out, a friend even, comes out and turns their acquaintance in, or their relative in, or their friend in, because they are that type of person. You know how many mass shootings have been stopped in the past couple months? At least 4 or 5. And they're just a blip on the radar. They're a blip on the media. They're a blip out there. But people become aware when the conversation happens. And then when those stories don't get reported on, that conversation dies. And then more people stop saying anything. A movie like The Joker could potentially show someone the warning signs of a person they know, and maybe prompt that individual to reach out to that person and ask them if they're okay, to let them know society hasn't forgotten about them, that they're not unloved, that they're not unwanted, and then potentially stop something bad from happening. Now, where's that narrative on your end? Where's that narrative on your front? Where is that narrative? It's not there because it doesn't sell advertisements. It doesn't sell clicks. It doesn't sell outrage. You are an outrage farmer. You are a liar. You are a coward. And you are more than willing to put more people in potential danger by spreading false information about a movie that 99.9% of the world has not been allowed to see yet, by smearing a movie, by smearing its filmmaker, by smearing its stars. You are creating a false situation, and you don't care because you live in a bubble and you think that this is the right way. It's not. We don't solve problems by shoving our heads in the sand like ostriches and not discussing them. Do I know for a fact that this movie is going to have that impact? I don't. But I would prefer to look at it from what art can generally achieve versus what it is attempting to do. And you're right, it doesn't make any sense what you're even suggesting. But you don't even want to have that conversation because it doesn't earn you money. It doesn't earn you profit. I'm making this video knowing damn well YouTube is going to demonetize it because anything involving the Joker right now on a touchy political subject matter gets it. But I don't care. I'd rather people out there who watch this actually look at it from a different perspective and not one of cowardice, ignorance, and fear, which is what you're doing. Because that's all you are. You are keyboard warriors who hide behind your freaking phones while sipping on a latte in a Starbucks. And that's all you can do is cast blame and judgment and shame at other people who have not had the opportunity to engage in the same thing as you. And you try to hurt a product simply because it pays the bills. You don't deserve your access to anything. And if Warner Brothers is going to sit there and hide screenings from you and not give you the chance to further crap on their product, and they'd rather the audience sees it and the audience makes up their own mind, then I support that 100% because you don't deserve it. Hell, most of you nowadays just want to go out there and attack movies anyway. You claim to love them, but you can't help but crap on them. You're no hero. You're not an arbiter for justice, and you're not trying to protect society. You're trying to get society to shun something without watching it, without understanding the context, without looking at it objectively, and just bury their heads in the sand. Cowards. All of you. Anyway, I leave it to you guys. Your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. And be sure to give it a thumbs up if you agree. And if you disagree, if you're one of the media that disagrees, by all means, tell me. My Twitter is that way. I'm always on it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.